Hey y'all, let's talk about UFOs, brought to you by Conciliation of the People. Real quick before we get started, I would like for you to double check your video quality on your YouTube video by clicking on your setting icon at the bottom of the video, and then clicking on video quality to make sure that it is set to 1080p HD. That way you can see exactly what my phone picked up in the night sky, and it won't look extremely distorted. All right, let's get started.
Where'd it go? What? No way.
All right, so I want to talk about what I saw tonight and hopefully explain it in the best way that I can with the evidence that I've gathered tonight. Real quick, before I talk about what I just showed you, I want to talk about what I saw this morning. I saw the same type of light going from left to right in my visual area in this same patch of sky this morning. And I immediately pulled out my star app to see if there were satellites in the area, and I didn't see anything. I thought it was weird, so I put a pin in it for later. I'm sure I was going to use it, just didn't understand why I saw it like that right now. So then this evening, I went to go get my phone out of the car because I had left it in there. And when I was walking back towards the house, I noticed that there was the light again, but this time it was going back the way that it came. So immediately I opened my star app to see what was going on. No satellites in the area, so I started recording it. And I saw something amazing. Or rather, I kind of missed it, but my camera picked it up. So I want to show real quick, these are obviously clouds. You can see that coming up right here, but they are right here. They don't really go anywhere else. What you see is actually what is there in the sky at the time. And there's some light that's over in this area, and I'm not sure what it is, but it always keeps this part of the sky lit up. So I'm not quite sure what that is over there. I'll have to check that out one day. So I'll kind of like briefly talk about it as I go through, and then I'll show you some other stuff too. So here we have it moving across the sky. And then it's flickering, 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 gone. Now, at this point in time, I was trying to kind of watch the sky and my phone at the same time, because I noticed the other night, and I'll post this shortly, but I noticed the other night Mars was really freaking out. I don't really know another way to describe it, but it was really freaking out. And I was recording it, and I could see with my eyes what I was seeing, and then I could see on the screen that it wasn't picking up everything that my eyes were seeing. So I thought, like, when I was watching the camera or the phone screen as I was recording this, I thought that that was what was happening again. Like, oh, the light's changing on it. So it must, like, I thought maybe it just was something that I needed to move or wait. So you'll see in just a second that I start to move, because I thought that I would see it come back in the trajectory, like the path that it was going, and I didn't. So it was gone. I'm moving, trying to find it. That you see is Saturn. It should have gone somewhere this way. Like, it would have gone above it, but it didn't.
Where'd it go?
And that's when I realized it didn't hit any clouds. I stopped. I waited. Because I noticed these same clouds that were right there. I noticed they were right there, and I gave myself the grace to accept that maybe there were clouds that I couldn't see, because it was gone all of a sudden. So I waited. And it should have been there. If it was going to keep moving, it should have been there. There was no reason for it to not be there. But that's not what happened. You can see here that it flickers and it's gone. It's just gone. Very interesting. So I showed this to my son, and he was skeptical. And to an extent, I would say rightly so, because he didn't see it with his own eyes. But also because we don't truly know everything. And so you should ask questions. So he had mentioned these clouds underneath, and he had said that it could have gone behind those clouds, disappeared. And I said, well, those are pretty thin clouds, but it didn't even go near the clouds. It was above the clouds. Then he also suggested that it could have been a plane. And while I've studied the night sky for hours upon end for a few years now, just enough to notice when there are changes. I'll put it like that. And I can't see everything, but just enough to notice when things aren't what they normally seem to be. So I know what a plane looks like in the sky. We are actually in a position where we live that there are many planes going across the sky, especially shortly after this time of night. 8 o'clock, typically not so much going on, but between 9 and 11, there are a lot of planes going on, like back and forth all over, like way up high, down low, because we have an airport close by. So it's a possibility, but not from the observations that I've made by watching the night sky. So after that, I decided to go outside and look at the sky, watch it, look at the planes, and watch their activity and the habits that they have around the clouds. So that's what you'll see next.
I really just want to do this so that I can point out the fact that planes flash and they don't disappear. Even when they go behind clouds. Look at that. Oh, you can still see it. Okay. So the video that I took had clouds underneath it. This is going through the clouds and you can still see it. Just want to point that out. Flashing and red. Going through the same kind of atmosphere that the other video did. And there you can see Saturn shining through the cloud. Through the cloud. So where did it go?
So I want to talk real quick about this docuseries that the History Channel put out, Inside America's UFO Investigation. If you haven't learned by now that UFOs and aliens are real, you really need to do your research. Like, you really, really do. And I say that not to scare you. This is by no means, none of this is to scare you at all. There's nothing scary about this. But this is not to scare you. This is to help you understand what's going on, what these people are talking about, how, like, just everything. So, but I really want to talk about this because this and this guy right here, Blink 182 guy, this guy, this narrative is the only reason why this is even being talked about at all. Why things were released, leaked, whatever. I just read an article that said this guy leaked this. When they talked about this in the show, I swear, I don't know, I'd have to go back and watch it again. But I swear they said that it was finally released to the public. He released it to the public. um, but either way, it was released to the public, and you just do some research. This show is good if you want to do some research just to see what people have seen, to help you understand what's out there. But the narrative isn't necessary. The narrative here is we're worried about a threat to national security. Please understand that if these beings really wanted us gone, we would be gone. Because we're talking like they can shift between dimensions and be gone like faster than the speed of light. So, yeah, if they wanted us gone, we would not be here. So that is clearly not their goal. They're pretty much leaving us alone for the most part. And I'll talk about that more in other videos. But generally speaking, for the most part, these entities are leaving us alone. We are here in our own mess. So they're pretty much leaving us alone. There are exceptions to that, and I will talk about them in other videos, I promise you. But again, it's not to scare you at all. This is not supposed to be scary. The scariest things that are on Earth are things that people are doing. I promise you. The scariest things in existence anywhere are the things that people are doing. So don't be scared about this stuff. This is actually supposed to help you open your mind to other things too. So these videos that were released to the public were videos that the Navy had actually come across. And this is from the New York Post. This was written back in 2021. I really like how they have this set up too. That's nice. But this was written back in 2021. And right here it says last year. So in 2020, the Defense Department officially declassified shocking videos taken by Navy pilots in 2004 and 2015. So 2015, which made international headlines when it was first leaked. I don't remember hearing about that. I don't know about you guys. It made international headlines though. Blink 182, Tom DeLonge. That's that guy. That guy. So these were leaked, and then they officially declassified them. Let's go up here because this is, well, you can confine this if you want. Do your research, please. I beg you, do your research because you'll find more than what you're looking for. And that's the beauty of it all. All right, so I want to talk about this. By way of the Freedom of Information Act, thousands of the CIA documents on unidentified flying objects are now accessible via download at the Black Vault. All right, go check that out. But please remember this. Freedom of Information Act. Please remember that. There are problems with this because in 50 years, so much can happen. Things can get lost, fires, incidents, whatever you want to call it. Not everything makes it through. But some things do. So let's talk about why would they last year, 2001, so in 2020, why would they officially release this? Why is this a thing now? Why are they making money off of this now? After for so long we've all been crazy, right? Because what's the narrative? National security. And we're all scared right now for so many reasons that they keep adding on to. So why not throw this in too? Because this is huge. This is huge to understand that we are not alone. This is huge. But if we understand that we are not alone and we're scared, that's huge in another way. Fear is paralyzing. And when you're paralyzed, you can't grow. You actually atrophy because you can't use those muscles. So you become weak in fear. Don't be afraid. Roosevelt said there's nothing to fear but fear itself, because what comes from it. Be mindful of how you think. Be mindful of how you think. I'll put it like that. And we'll talk more about that too. That's something huge that I'll be getting in on, is thinking and speaking, and then how your world comes to be around you. All right, y'all. That's about all I got for you regarding this experience that I had tonight. I'm really grateful for the experience because I've known these things have been in existence. I just have never actually witnessed anything like this. It was certainly a beautiful thing to see. So stick with me. Ask me questions if you have any. I'd love to answer them if I can, or research them if I don't have the answer. I'm excited about this journey. It's going to be a long one, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be beautiful because we're going to open our eyes to the things that we cannot see. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this, and infinite blessings of love and light and good research to you. Bye.